In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a rear brake line on your Volkswagen Passat. This is going to be located behind the rear wheels. Let's get started. Using a right angle pick, go around and remove all of the plastic caps. Using a 17mm socket, remove the 5 lug studs. When we remove this last stud, the wheel is going to want to fall off. Have a hand on it. Remove the last lug stud and remove the wheel. Using an 11mm socket, remove the banjo bolt. Remove the bolt and remove your 2 crush washers off of the bolt. Be sure it's not stuck to the bottom of the line. I'm going to use an 11mm and get on the nut for the brake line. I'm going to use a 17mm wrench to hold the brake line still while I crack this fitting free. Be sure you have a bucket under you, fluid will come out. Remove the fitting from the brake line. I'm going to use a pair of pliers and grab this little clip. Remove the clip. Remove the line. Install the brake line. Install the brake line into the bracket. Get the fitting started by hand if you can. Install the clamp for the brake line. Get the fitting nice and tight. If you're worried about your bracket moving or your hose spinning, you can use a 17mm wrench to hold it while you snug this down. This clamp should hold everything just fine for you. Make sure both crush washers are removed off of your banjo bolt. Now we're going to take a new crush washer and install it onto our banjo bolt. We're going to install that through our brake line. We're going to put one more on the back side. Install the bolt into the caliper. Snug the bolt down. Torque the bolt to 15 foot-pounds. Looking down on top of our caliper, you're going to see our bleeder screw. We need to remove the bleeder cap. Remove the bleeder cap. Using an 11mm wrench, crack the bleeder screw free. And I'm going to open this up. I'm twisting it open. Install a bleeder bottle. Now we're going to let this gravity bleed. You're going to see fluid come out through our hose into our bottle. You're going to want to wait until you see clear fluid with no bubbles. Once you have clear fluid with no bubbles coming out, remove the bleeder bottle. Snug the bleeder screw down. Install the bleeder cap. Using a clean rag with some brake parts cleaner, we're going to clean the area of any mess we made. Install the wheel. I'm going to get one lug stud started. Snug it down. Install the rest of the lug studs. Snug them down with a gun. Using a 17mm socket, we're going to torque our lug studs to 103 foot-pounds in a star pattern. Install the plastic caps. Using a T15 bit, we're going to remove the 2 screws for the intake. Do the same thing on the other side. Pull the intake back off of the plastic trim. Using a pair of pliers, pinch the clamp and pull it down. Remove the intake boot off the intake. We're going to grab either side of our intake and pull straight up. And remove the intake. Using a clean rag with some brake parts cleaner, we're going to clean our master cylinder of any dirt or dust that's around the cap. We don't want anything going into our reservoir when we remove this cap. We're going to twist and remove the cap for the master cylinder. On this cap, it's going to tell you which fluid to use. We're going to be using DOT4 in this system. I'm going to flip the cap over and put it right behind there. We're going to remove the filter out from the reservoir. To do this, we have to pull it into itself. There's tabs that are holding it in. Go around pushing all of these tabs, pulling up as you do it. Continue going around until you get all of these tabs pushed in, and you can pull this filter up and out. Using a fluid extractor, extract all of the fluid from the master cylinder. We want to get as much old fluid out as we can. Dump this into a suitable container. Repeat this process until you have no more fluid left in the reservoir. Reinstall the filter. There's a mark right on the front here for the max line and the min. We're going to pour in new brake fluid until we hit that max line. We're going to take our recommended DOT4 fluid and fill our master up to the top. Now that we're at that max line, we can grab our cap and reinstall it. Screw the cap on. Here we are at our first wheel. It's going to be the left front. We're going to remove our bleeder cap. We have an assistant in the vehicle who's going to press our brake pedal for us. We're going to use an 11mm wrench to get on our bleeder. We're going to have our assistant in the car pump up the brake pedal 3 to 5 times. Go ahead. Once he's holding, I'm going to install a bottle onto my bleeder to catch the fluid, and we'll crack the fitting. You'll see all of the old fluid come out into the bottle. Once your assistant says floor, you can close the bleeder and have them pump again. Go ahead. And we're going to repeat this process 3 to 5 times, or until we have nice clear fluid with no bubbles coming out. Go ahead. And one more time. Once they hit the floor, we can close that bleeder up. Now we had nice clear fluid with no bubbles come out, so we can remove our bottle. Remove the wrench. We're going to use a clean rag with some brake parts cleaner and clean up the area of any mess we made. Reinstall your bleeder cap. Now we're going to go repeat this process on our right front wheel, and we'll see you at the master after. Remove the cap. Put it off to the side. Top off the fluid. Get it back to that max mark. Reinstall your cap. Screw it down until it's nice and snug. Wipe the area of any mess we made with a clean rag and some brake parts cleaner. And now we're going to move to the rear two calipers. Here we are at the left rear wheel. We're going to remove the bleeder cap. I'm going to get my wrench around the bleeder and install my bottle. And we'll have assistant pump up the brakes. Go ahead.
Holding.
Now that they're holding, we'll open it up. Close the bleeder once they hit the floor. Go ahead. All right, now that we had nice clean fluid come out of our brake caliper, we're going to remove our hose. Using a clean rag with some brake parts cleaner, we're going to clean the area of any mess we made. Reinstall the bleeder cap. Repeat the same process on the right rear wheel, and then we'll see you at the master cylinder. We're coming to our master cylinder one more time. You're going to open it up. Top off the fluid as needed. Reinstall the cap. Snug it down. Clean the area of any mess you made. Reinstall the intake. Install the intake into place. Push down on the 4 rubber grommets in the corners and lock them into their posts. Install the boot onto the intake. Be sure that it's fully installed. Pinch the clamp and pull it over. Install the intake trim into the front air dam. Get the screws started on either side. Snug the bolts down. Now that you're done bleeding your brakes, go ahead and hop in the vehicle, pump up the brake pedal. Be sure it's nice and firm. If you still have a spongy pedal, you're going to have to go around and repeat this process. Once the process is done, torque your wheels to 103 foot-pounds and you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.